And welcome back tonight to Smoky Valley High School Gymnasium. Doug Schneider with you, along with Mike Rose, running the stream up top. We're able to provide you some beautiful volleyball action on this Tuesday. Some great games getting us started tonight as Smoky Valley played against Clay Center to get things started in the 5 o'clock match. One whale of a ball game there as Smoky Valley ends up pulling out game one 30-28, and then able to win the second game of the match 25-21 to get the win in straight sets. The second match of the night found Clay Center taking on Hoisington. Again, Hoisington a member of the Central Kansas League as well, just like the Vikings. And Clay Center used a 14-2 run to seal game one in that match at 25-16, and then used another run in the second game of the second game of the match to pull away and win 25-20. So again, Clay Center wins 25-16, 25-20, and that moved Clay Center to 9-4 on the season. I had a chance to talk with Clay Center's coach just a little bit after that match. For those of you who had the chance to watch, he said they were without one of their senior setters tonight, and weren't really sure what they were going to see, although he was really impressed with what Mackenzie Weller did for them. I mentioned that she made a couple of really big plays late in the match with some nice little drop shots there to help him out, and that's the essence of sport right there. Next player up, and she did a phenomenal job after learning earlier today that she'd be in the lineup a little bit more than usual, and really played well, and that helped to give Clay Center that win. Tonight now for the nightcap, we've got a Central Kansas League battle between Hoisington, the visitors, and Smoky Valley, the home team here tonight. Smoky Valley again comes in ranked number 3 in the state in 3A. Playing phenomenal volleyball. I believe they're winners of their last 14 matches in a row after opening the season with a loss to Hillsborough, as we said, avenging that loss about a week ago. And really playing some great volleyball down the stretch here. And again, beating what I felt was a very feisty Clay Center squad in that opening match as well. So we're set. Get a little something to drink. Get ready to watch some great volleyball here tonight between Hoisington and Smoky Valley. Hoisington had some nice runs in that second match of the night. As a matter of fact, we're on top, as we said, midway through both of those games against Clay Center, and just unable to finish it off. Tonight, they're going to get the chance to be the first server out of the gate. Hanslick's going to be their server to get things started. That's Macy Hanslick, and she's going to get us rolling, so we are ready for action. Hanslick to serve, drops it right in front of Carrington Haxton, and Hanslick gets things started the way she started game 2 against Clay Center. She really served the ball well and has a nice little roll on that ball that drops it right when it goes over the net. The same thing happened here, and it's 1-0 Hoisington. Hanslick to serve, sends it back. Haxton again, this time a perfect pass here to Elise Ramsey. Ramsey sends it over to Toll. Toll sends it, and just about 6 inches deep on the backside there from Maddie Toll. Again, taking it from the far side and trying to bring it cross court to the near side. It is 2-0 Hoisington. Hanslick serves. This one up by Aubrey Boulder right to the net. This will be a setup right to Abby Rose, and you cannot do that to Smoky Valley. Beautiful pass there from Boulder to Ramsey. Ramsey with a nice setup to Rose. Rose drives it home, and that is the first kill of the evening match here for Abby Rose. Couple of substitutions here. Maddie Toll comes out for the setter. That would be McKinley Johnson in the back row. And then in the front row, Belle Peters coming in as well for Elise Ramsey. Johnson to jump serve. Sends it back to Urban. Urban up to Dolacek. Dolacek sends it back to Susanna Schneider. Johnson has to play that up. Haxton tries to save it, and it sends it just a little bit too far out to Boldra. And that will put Hoisington back up 2 again here in this match. Susanna Schneider to serve for Hoisington. She sends it to Haxton. Haxton up to Johnson. Johnson sends it outside to Peters. And right in front of Paige Dolacek there. Peters drives it down, and that'll be Peters' first kill of the evening as well here in this second match. Boulder serving now, 3-2, Hoisington on top. Aubrey Boulder plays it to Susanna Schneider. Schneider to Dolacek. Dolacek sends it to Lamach, and Lamach is blocked by Abby Rose, who sends it right back at her, and that'll be point Smoky Valley. Tied up now, 3-all. Boulder to serve. Susanna Schneider up. Dolacek going to go right back to Alex Lamach again. This time she tries to move the ball around, gets it to Johnson. Johnson can't quite put it up. It lands between a couple of Vikings, and a nice side out there by Hoisington. Keely Wolf to serve now, the senior. Sends it to Addie Heitschmidt. Heitschmidt, Johnson, back to Heitschmidt, sends it deep. Nice up by Susanna Schneider. Keely Wolf to Urban, and Urban sends it into the net, and we're knotted at 4s. Bree Franklin will check into the contest for Smoky Valley for Carrington Haxton, who takes a break. Haxton with some nice digs there in that first part of this match. And Abby Rose to serve. The little jump serve, trying to drop it in, and she does right in front of Paige Lamach. And that'll be point Smoky Valley. Nice play there by Abby Rose. The Vikings have their first lead, 5-4. And then a nice little attempt there to try to drop it just over the net by Rose. Again, you like to see that aggressiveness early in the match. You want to try to go after some areas and see if you can sneak some points, suck them up a little bit on the net. Unfortunately, this one into the net, and so we're back knotted at 5. Alex Lamach to serve for Hoisington. Aubrey Boulder a little bit off, saved by Peters. Addie Heitschmidt coming from the outside and able to make the play there in front of Urban. Nice reaction there by Addie Heitschmidt, bringing the ball back in after a tough opening pass. They were able to make a nice play out of that. I thought they really adjusted well. Like I said, the ball kind of came awkwardly off Boulder's hands. Belle Peters makes the save, and Heitschmidt very alert making that play. Elise Ramsey to serve now. She checks back into the contest. Serves it toward Paige Lamach. Keeley on the set. Urban on the hit. Cross court, it's going to go out of bounds. That'll be point Smoky Valley. So that will put Smoky Valley on top 7-5 now. So a 2-point lead here for the Vikings. Elise Ramsey gets direction from her coach and mom, Charlene Ramsey. Serving it right down the pike, trying to drop it right in front. Urban up. Dolacek sends it out, this time to Hanslick. Hanslick blocked, but the block goes out of bounds. So Hanslick did a nice job playing the outside there, sending it into the Viking block. The block going out of bounds, and it's 7-6 Smoky Valley. Service this time by Urban. Boldra up. Ramsey trying to make the save, and a nice little drop shot across the net there from Bree Franklin. A little quick play there. That was really well done. It looked like the pass was going to be a little bit tight. Elise was able to make the play, send it off to the side there for Bree Franklin to finish it off. Addie Heitschmidt to serve. Dolacek gets it up. Keeley saves it. Urban sends it over. Abby Rose to Ramsey, and a little too far outside that time for Bree Franklin to get the play coming back around the outside. Well-designed play by the Vikings, just doesn't quite work as she ends up getting into the net. Substitution for Hoisington is number 11, Wolf checks out, and Gracie Alward checks in. Serve here by Dolacek. Rose sends it up. Ramsey sets it up for Peters. Urban plays it. Urban's going to get a back row opportunity here. Rose plays it up. Susanna Schneider back across. Boulder plays it up. Heitschmidt to Boldra. Boldra down the line. Dolacek tries to save it, and it's going to come over here toward the table. Not able to do it as it comes off Dolacek's hands awkwardly, and Gracie Alward tried to make it over here to make a play, but it was a little too far out here, and it is now 9-7 Smoky Valley. Bree Franklin to serve. Again, bringing her outside in serve. She sends that ball across to Hoisington, played over by Susanna Schneider. Boldra over, played up by Schneider again. Dolacek back to Schneider. Schneider drives it home. Played up by Franklin. This time Boulder is going to try to drop it right in the middle. Dolacek saves it. Alward gets it. Susanna Schneider is going to try to drive it back to the corner. Heitschmidt plays it up. Ramsey on her horse. Ball's played over. Going to keep it alive. Again, a lot of scrambling right now. Alward just can't quite get to it, and that's going to be point for the Vikings. A great rally point by both teams. A lot of hustle, a lot of effort. Again, players over there selling out. There was a beautiful dive back there by Urban. She just couldn't quite get it. And an excellent serve by Bree Franklin as she drives it back to the deep corner. Had a little bit of heat on that one as it came toward Paige Lamach, the freshman, and she was unable to make the play, and that puts the Vikings up now by 4, 11-7, their largest lead of this game. Franklin again puts a little heat on it. Schneider's able to play it up. Dolacek tries to get a little tip over, and Abby Rose is right there at the net to make the play, and the Vikings now move forward by 5. Again, it's a little bit tight to the net. Maybe a little too quick of a decision by Dolacek to decide on that because Rose was waiting for her. Bree Franklin to serve. Little soft one. Took a little something off of that. Susanna Schneider played it up. Now she's going to try to send it to that deep corner, making Franklin move to the corner. She picks it up. Set up by Ramsey, and Heidschmidt tried to get it on the back row attack. She was unable to do so, and the ball will go back over to Hoisington now, trailing by 4. Bree Franklin, nice set of rotations there. She comes back out for Carrington Haxton. Hanslick back to serve. She's done a nice job. A couple of Vikings fight over that one a little bit. Abby Rose saves it. Ramsey sends it back, and it is out. Hanslick has a nice serve. She puts a little something on it. She gets it to drop there at the end and makes it really tough to pick up, and it's been a couple of those tonight that she's really been very good at. Another one from her hits the net this time. Haxton on the ground saving it. Boldra couldn't quite read where it was at there. Good sellout, though, by Carrington Haxton as she gets on the floor. The lead is now cut 12-10, and that leads Charlene Ramsey, Coach Ramsey, to make the timeout call here and try to settle down her Vikings. Again, if you're just joining us, some pretty good volleyball tonight. Opening game tonight. Smoky Valley ends up defeating Clay Center 30-28. And in game 2, 25-21 Smoky Valley. So they win in straight sets, but a very competitive match that was back and forth the whole entire night. Then in the second match, as Clay Center pitted up against Hoisington, Clay Center ends up defeating Hoisington 25-16, 25-20, and now we got a 12-10 contest early here in game 1 of the nightcap. Hanslick again back to serve for Hoisington. Sends this one deep to Heidschmidt. Heidschmidt to Ramsey. Out to Maddie Toll. Maddie Toll drives it down the line. That one's in. They played her for the cross coming from that right side hitter position, and she ends up turning the ball right back down the line and gives the Vikings a point, putting them up by 3. Again, a couple of substitutions in for the Vikings, and that will lead to the rotation where McKinley Johnson will be back to serve again. And again, coming right down the middle on the jump serve. Drives it right back to Paige Lamach. Dolacek ends up making the play. Alex Lamach sends it over. Carrington Haxton on the up. Abby Rose on the attack. It comes back to Abby Rose, and you cannot do that. Abby Rose is out at the net, and she drives that one straight down. Beautiful attack by Abby. Again, Susanna Schneider had to make a play there to try to get to the first ball. She unfortunately played a little too tight for Abby, and Abby sends it home. Johnson to serve. Drops one in short in front of Paige Lamach. Dolacek plays it up to the middle to Aylward. Addie Heidschmidt. Johnson over to Boldra. Boldra cross court. Played up by Urban. Dolacek played back over that time by Rose as she attacked. Susanna Schneider's going to free ball it to Haxton. Johnson sends it out to Boldra. Boldra rolls shot. Dolacek sends it up. Aylward there. And we end up having a net call there against Hoisington. Looked like the call was against Alex Lamach that time, as she ended up just a little bit close on her turn to the net. A good rally there, but it ends up going the Vikings' way, 15-10. Johnson again to serve. Sends it back to Urban. Eats her up just a little bit. Paige Lamach saves it. Susanna Schneider will send it over. Addie Heidschmidt to Johnson. Johnson outside to Rose, and another great shot. Again, all of those great shots are set up by good plays, and that was a good pass from Heidschmidt, an excellent set from Johnson, and Abby Rose drives that one home. 16-10 Vikings. Johnson again going right after Urban again. Dolacek ends up playing it. Paige Lamach from the back row sends a free ball. Hexton, Johnson, and Peters. Peters sends that one down the line right off of Urban, and that'll be point Vikings. Vikings clicking right now. Seem to be moving the ball around very, very well, getting a lot of different hits from a lot of different avenues, and McKinley Johnson serving the ball very well as she leads into her next one. Urban gets a nice pass this time to Dolacek. That'll lead to Aylward, who's blocked by Rose. Rose to Johnson. Johnson sends a quick one over. Couple of quick plays. Susanna Schneider sends it over again. Johnson over. Aylward out. Susanna Schneider over. Haxton with the save. It's going to be a little off-net play there by Rose. Dolacek going to set up Aylward. Down the line, Belle Peters picks it up. Johnson to Boldra. Sorry, that was actually Boldra that picked it up, and then Boldra trying to attack again. This one goes into the net. And finally, Hoisington able to get a little bit of a break here, but down by 6 as we near that 20-point stretch here. Susanna Schneider with the serve, a little bit of a floater. Addie Heidschmidt up to Johnson. Belle Peters, ball back over the net. And they're going to again call Alex Lamach in the net. And that's the second time within the span of about 3 or 4 points here that Lamach tries to get the turn, got a little off balance, and ends up hitting the net. And that will lead Aubrey Boldra to serve here for Smoky Valley. Goes right to Susanna Schneider. Dolacek pulls it out. Schneider sends it deep, and it's going to land right on the line. Boldra thought she had enough space back there to let it go. Instead, she stopped moving there for just a second, hoping it was going to be out of bounds, and it drops right on the line back behind her, and that'll put the game back to 18-12. Smoky Valley on top. Number 11, Keely Wolf, ready to serve. Sends it over right in front of Carrington Haxon, who sends it back. Susanna Schneider to Keely Wolf. Outside to Urban. Urban sends it deep, and it is out. 19-12 Vikings. Bree Franklin checking back in for the Vikings as well. And on the other side over here for Hoisington, number 25, Livy Brewer, the junior, 5'8", going to check in as well. She will check in now for Camille Dolacek. And Abby Rose back to serve. Rose again, a little jump serve, attack in the back row. Paige gets it up that time. This time Alex Lamach sends it over, a little push shot. And a nice strike down the line there from Addie Heitschmidt. A little bit of an off speed as far as that was concerned. She didn't get all of her oomph into it. Kind of took a little something off. It ends up hitting a hand of a Hoisington Cardinal on the line, or excuse me, on the net, and it drops right near the back line. Abby Rose again aiming for that short spot, and again this time, just like earlier, ends up putting the ball in the net, but the Vikings up 20-13. You can be a little bit aggressive at this point in time. Alex Lamach back to serve. Lamach is a senior for Hoisington, 5'9". Jump serve from her here as well. Sends it right to Vanderweg. Vanderweg to Johnson. Bell Peters to the back row. Alex Lamach. Keely Wolf sends it out to Urban. Urban off the block. Going to be saved by Abby Rose. Johnson sends it over here near side to Heitschmidt, who drives it. And it's going to be off Lamach and out of bounds. Point Smoky Valley as they now go up 21-13. Back to our substitution patterns here as Maddie Toll's going to come back in. McKinley Johnson out. Also adding in here Avery Vanderweg in the game as well. Nice serve there by Ramsey. Up by Haig. Outside to Addie Heitschmidt. And Addie Heitschmidt's going to play it right off Lamach for the point for Smoky Valley. Vikings go up 22-13, 9-point lead here late in this match. Elise Ramsey again to serve. Off Alex Lamach. Keely Wolf saves it. Hanslick sends it over to Bree Frank. Bree to Elise. And Bree drives it, and it is in. Well played by Bree. You really like that quick attack. When you can get a player on the front row to make that pass and send it to the setter, they really, as a hitter, love to attack that play because it's a really quick play for them. They can go right back on the attack. 23-13, Smoky Valley. Ramsey to serve. Sends it short this time to Hanslick. Hanslick to Keely Wolf. Going to be a back row attack from Susanna Schneider. And a nice shot as she drives it down the line there. Vanderweg attempts to get to it, but it is point Hoisington. Cadence Urban back to serve. Maddie Toll sends it up. Elise Ramsey over to Bree Franklin. Franklin off Urban. Point Smoky Valley. And that puts us up to game point here in this first game of the night. A chance for the Vikings to take care of business here in game one and set things up for game two. And it will be Addie Heitschmidt serving here for Smoky Valley to try to seal this first game. Heitschmidt serves it. Ball's played up by Livy Brewer. Keely Wolf. Oh, Hanslick ends up hitting the top tape of the net and it rolls right over in front of Bree Franklin. Again, you really like to take advantage of those plays when they happen in your direction. Frustrating when they go against you. Brewer to serve. Sends it back to Haig. Ball played up by Ramsey. And Bree Franklin, trouble getting on top of that. Again, timing off just a little bit as far as that back set was concerned and where she was, placement of Bree Franklin on that one. Bree immediately saying, my bad on that one. Nice up on the back line. Ramsey sends it up to Maddie Toll. Maddie Toll off the top of the block. Keely Wolf outside to Susanna Schneider. Off the block. Beautifully blocked over there. Maddie Toll and Bree Franklin end up getting the seal for the game here. And that'll be of the Vikings game one, 25-16. A mid-game rally that put the Vikings in on top. And then they cruise to the victory here by 9, 25-16 in game one. And so, Vikings so far game-wise tonight, 3-0 as they win both games against Clay Center earlier. One by 2, one by 4, and this one they end up getting a 25-16 victory to win this one by 9. We'll be back in about 3 minutes for game 2. And what game getting it. I think it's Hoisington out to an early lead here in this one. They've pretty well in the late parts of the games that they've struggled the most all night long against Clay Center and against Smoky. Schneider again back to serve. Johnson, a little quick attack there. Keely Wolf's going to do the same on the other side. Johnson plays it up. Carrington Haxton sets a high set for Boldra, who's going to set 11, but it might have been Boldra 14. I couldn't quite read what she said. Either way, that puts Hoisington up 3-0. Schneider to serve. Boldra a little roll shot, and it works out perfectly. I think actually in that scenario that Camille Dolacek was in the right place at the right time. I think Keely Wolf thought she was going to have to come back and make a play, and she was unable to do so.
Some audio issues.
Keep talking or not?
Yeah, you can keep talking. I think you're short in your headset. Keep talking. Right here, switch to this.
Plugged in?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Nice play that time by Hoisington. We had a little audio difficulty there, but ball served by Smoky Valley down 4-2. Dolacek back set to Lamach. Lamach ends up sending that one down, and that puts them up puts Hoisington up 4-2 there. Keely Wolf back to serve. She sends it to the out of bounds line there. Heitschmidt plays it up. Johnson back sets to Rose. Nice save by Wolf. Back row attack this time by Susanna Schneider, and she put a little mustard on that one right at McKinley Johnson. Johnson unable to bring that up, and that will continue to put Hoisington in front by 3. Keely Wolf here to serve again. This time Carrington Haxton, tough to ball to get to. Tried to slide to her right there and couldn't quite make it. Ball goes out of bounds, and that allows Hoisington to move up by 4 here. Again, we've said it a couple of times. They tend to play very, very well out of the gate and seem to have some struggles in the midterm there. But otherwise, they've played well tonight. Ball's up for Rose. Rose attacks. A little touch at the net. Paige Lamach makes it up. Wolf sends it over to Urban. Urban back to Haxton. Haxton to Johnson. Johnson outside to Heitschmidt. Blocked by Hoisington. McKinley Johnson to Haxton. Haxton tries to send it back. It's going to be a free ball by Peters. Susanna Schneider up to Wolf. Wolf, Lamach, McKinley Johnson up. Carrington Haxton clears everybody out. That'll allow Vanderweg a back row attack. Susanna Schneider to Wolf. Wolf to the outside, this time to Urban. Nicely blocked on that side. And they're going to call Urban for going under the net over there. Beautifully done. I think it was Belle Peters might have gotten contact over there. It was. She solo blocked that one as Abby Rose couldn't quite make it over in time. And a beautiful block by Belle Peters to get the Vikings a point. Abby Rose to serve. Dolacek that time took a step forward on the Abby Rose serve. Looked like she wanted to play it, and then it became unplayable as it still drifted, and that put it back to Paige Lamach back there. It was a tough spot for her to be in when you're that second person in that line. Abby Rose to play. Serves it up. Dolacek plays it up. Keely Wolf going to set it back to Alex Lamach, and she puts it right in front of Abby Rose that time. Nice shot. It looks like Abby was blinded a little bit by what she saw in front of her there, and it was a nice shot. Just never quite made it out of her steps there, and Alex Lamach gets the point for Hoisington. And she goes back to serve as well. Lamach serves, jump serve, Vanderweg, little tight to the net, but a well-played ball there. And I think we're going to get called for a back row attack there. McKinley Johnson did anything she could as the ball went over the net. She just went up, got the block. It's one of those, when you play, you just kind of act like you play it off like nothing happened. But unfortunately, they do call her for the back row attack. Alex Lamach again to serve, jump serve, and right in between two Viking players back there. Little miscommunication. And again, you don't like to see that. You like to see that first game of the night. They played so well, seemed to be communicating and clicking, and now a little bit of a rally here by Hoisington. Much the same as what they did in the second match tonight against Clay Center, as they got outscored late in game one to lose game one to Clay Center. They came out in game two blazing, got things going really well, and then again just had that little spot where they kind of fell apart. Tonight, Vikings now trail 9-4. Hoisington playing well. Alex Lamach has had a good stretch here serving, as well as a hit for a kill just before that. So now it's time for the Vikings to try to get a break and see if they can get the ball going back on their side again. Lamach to serve. Abby Rose plays it up. McKinley Johnson to Bree Franklin. Bree a little tap. And again, the Vikings have been so good tonight about coming out of the timeouts and getting that next point. This time, Bree Franklin, ball was not able to be played where she wanted it, so she just sticks her left mitt up there, gets a little hand on it, and sends it right down here on the line to the near side. Elise Ramsey checks in. She's going to serve now for the Vikings. Sends it back to Alex Lamach. Keely Wolf sends it outside to Hanslick. Hanslick to Heitschmidt. Elise Ramsey going to go right back to Heitschmidt. A little roll shot. Alex Lamach to Wolf. Hanslick tries to send it, this time blocked by Bree Franklin at the net. She is right there ready to play it. Ball didn't quite get exactly where Hanslick wanted. She had to lay off the net a little bit and try to attack that way, and she tried to go a little low shot. Didn't have one there. Elise Ramsey to serve. Hanslick. Keely Wolf sends it over quickly. Vanderweg, nice job on the floor. Addie Heitschmidt off the block, and that'll be point Smoky Valley. And again, they come right out here after the timeout, trailing 9-4, and pick up 3 straight points here out of the timeout, which is exactly what you want to do. Nicely done, and a good job of attacking, and they're really playing off the blocks well. Ramsey again to serve. Trying to drop that one right in there short. Alex Lamach plays it up. Keely Wolf going to go back row attack to Susanna Schneider. This one comes right off of Bree Franklin's hands, rolls down the net, and the Vikings unable to make the play. And Hoisington moves back ahead 10-7. Cade Zerbin back to serve. Vanderweg pops it up. Elise Ramsey going to go right to Bree Franklin here on the outside, and she drives it home right by Caden Zerbin on that back line. Beautiful placement as she placed it just between the front row player who was peeling off and the back row player in their area. It was a good spot, and Breeze hit the ball very well tonight for Smoky Valley. Vikings back within 2. Addie Heitschmidt to serve. She tries to send a short one, and it's just going to go in the net. Heitschmidt looked like she had an opportunity there to place it exactly where she wanted to place it, just trying to drop the ball in there. The senior unable to do so, just left it a little bit short as the ball comes off the front tape of the net and drops, and the Vikings trail by 3. Dolacek to serve. Aubrey Boulder up. Elise Ramsey going to send it to Toll. Toll, a little cross shot right there. Can't get it. Dolacek's going to send it over to Susanna Schneider. And the Vikings again right there on top of it. Just a little bit of contact at the net for the block as they go up. It looked like Bree Franklin and Maddie Toll. Looked like Toll ends up being the one to get it, and it was on the third shot. So she can come across that net a little ways, and no Hoisington Cardinal able to pick it up. Franklin sends a nice shot there to Urban. Urban's going to get the hit as well, and she sends it deep. A good deep shot there. And again, Bree Franklin able to get the job done on her serves as well as her hits tonight. And that tightens this game up. 11-10 now. Vikings trail by 1. Bree Franklin cross court on that one. Nice play by Alex Lamach. That'll get Schneider to get a roll shot. Little bit of a tight play there. Heitschmidt couldn't quite get underneath it, sends it over the net, and that will be point Hoisington. Carrington Haxton back in for the Vikings as Bree Franklin steps off. Bree had a nice rotation that time, played very well while she was in there. And now it's time for them to break this Hanslick serve again. She has done such a great job tonight, and she is doing a nice job again as she brings it from the middle of the court to her left, sends it right on the line next to Haxton, and that will be an ace for Hoisington and puts them back up by 3. She has served very well tonight. Hanslick serves yet again. This one off the top of the tape. I think I jinxed her. Ball comes off the top of the tape, and it will be Viking ball now as they trail 13-11 here in this second game. Again, the Vikings win game 1, 25-16. This game, they were down at one point in time 9-4 and have battled back. It's a 2-point game right now as McKinley Johnson gets ready to serve. Paige Lamach sends it up. Isleward ends up sending over to Alex Lamach. Carrington Haxton has to save it. Might have been deep. Addie Heitschmidt for the hit. Beautifully played back in the back row there by Dolacek. Isleward sends it over to Susanna Schneider. Back to Addie Heitschmidt. Johnson sets it up for Boldra. Beautifully played. Schneider sends it back over. Johnson going to back set Rose, coming back across, and a nice back set there on the curl. Abby Rose making the play and bringing it right back across. And that cuts the lead back to 1. Nice rally there by both teams. I thought they both did a great job. The Cardinals were excellent at getting on the floor and being able to keep those plays up. Johnson again, jump serve, right in front of Paige Lamach. Excellent hustle by Schneider, and Paige Lamach unable to send it over, but a great hustle play by Schneider. She's kind of everywhere tonight. 5'6" senior for Hoisington. Really good hustle player, has a nice arm on her as well, seems to hit the ball very, very well. McKinley Johnson now in a tie game, 13-all. Paige Lamach up. Dolacek going to give it up to Schneider. Schneider back row attack, sends it off Johnson and into the seats. And on cue, Susanna Schneider makes a nice back row attack and gets Hoisington back on the board here, 14-13. She's rewarded by getting the serve here as well. Jump serve from Schneider, sends it to Haxton, to Johnson. Johnson to Bell Peters. Bell Peters into the net. Timing just a smidge off on that play as she didn't quite either A, get it high enough or get the attack the way she wanted to, but it goes back to Hoisington. Hoisington now, Susanna Schneider sends her next serve into the net, and so they'll switch sides again now. Vikings will serve, trailing by 1, 15-14. Aubrey Boldra to serve. Sends it over to Schneider. Schneider to Dolacek. Dolacek in the middle to Alex Lamach. Boldra sends it up to Johnson. Johnson's going to go outside to Heitschmidt. Heitschmidt to Paige Lamach, and it's going to go all the way over on the dig. The Vikings again all crept up there to cover up against the attack in case of the block, and unfortunately sneaks it way into that deep corner. Carrington Haxton sells out trying to make the play, but not able to get there. And that puts Hoisington back up by 2 here, 16-14. Keely Wolfen for Hoisington to serve. Haxton with the up. McKinley Johnson back set to Abby Rose. Tries to tap it over. Urban's going to go up on this one. Blocked at the net by Abby Rose and Bell Peters. Urban's going to go again. Vanderweg up. Johnson back row attack to Carrington Haxton. Played up nicely by Schneider. Dolacek's going to send that one to Haxton. Johnson a little quick play right there. Played up by Susanna Schneider. Middle attack by Alex Lamach. And she drops it right over here on the near side, right on the line. Well played there. Again, a nice rally by both squads. Alex Lamach able to send it from the middle to the right and drop it right on the line for a 3-point lead. Keely Wolf to serve. Haxton, nice pass to the middle of Johnson. Jump set over here to Heitschmidt. Heitschmidt sends it off Paige Lamach and out of bounds. That'll be point Vikings. Tough spot there. Couldn't quite tell by Paige Lamont if that was going to go long or not, but she sold out, tried to get a hand on it, make a play. She did that earlier and was able to get a point for him, trying this time again. Abby Rose to serve. Nice jump serve. Dolacek ends up Keely Wolf on a quick one. McKinley Johnson over to Heitschmidt. Heitschmidt off the block. Saved up by Dolacek. Susanna Schneider will free ball that. Avery Vanderweg to Johnson. Quick one in the middle to Bree Franklin. Saved by Schneider. Johnson to Rose. Rose out to Peters. Peters off the block. Saved by Keely Wolf. Dolacek up. Alex Lamont sends it deep. Vanderweg. Johnson. Heitschmidt on the attack. Susanna Schneider plays it up. Keely Wolf back to Schneider. Schneider back row attack right off the top of the net. Addie Heitschmidt was down, ready to go, and when it came off the top of the net, it just kind of changed the angle of the ball a little bit, and it crept up on her, and she wasn't able to make the play. Hoisington pushes the lead back out to 3. Alex Lamach to serve. And she serves it in the net. Again, that one stage, you like to see that aggressiveness trying to go after difficult spots, but it is tough when you get to that point of making sure that you get the ball in play and give yourself a chance. In this scenario, she doesn't, and that puts the lead back to 18-16. Hoisington's on top. Elise Ramsey to serve. Urban, a little bit of a tough play there. Schneider's going to end up playing in the net, and that should be 18-17. I think our score is a little bit off here. We should get it right here in just a second, but it is 18-17. Hoisington's on top. Elise Ramsey again to serve. Back to Alex Lamach. Lamach to Keely Wolf. Urban cross-court winner. Beautiful play right there. She was set up nicely on that back set by Keely Wolf here on the right side and be able to cross that court with it, and she drove it home with authority there. Nice play by Urban, and that again puts Hoisington up 19-17. Urban now to serve. Toll pops it up. Ramsey. Looks like a little miscommunication there. Couldn't tell if she wanted to go to Maddie Toll or if she was trying to go to Bree Franklin. The ball ends up landing on the Vikings side, and now Vikings down by 3. Urban to serve. Maddie Toll up. Elise Ramsey plays it on a back row attack to Abby Rose. Roll shot to Urban. Keely Wolf struggling to try to get to it. Dolacek's going to make the play. Vanderweg. Heitschmidt's going to send it over in 2. Alex Lamach to Keely Wolf. In the middle of Hanslick. Off the block of Bree Franklin, who sends it over. Schneider saves it. She's also going to get the attack now. Roll shot, Addie Heitschmidt. Elise Ramsey back to Heitschmidt, who tries one right over the top. Hanslick tried to get her hand on it coming down from the block, and instead it sneaks out, and that will be Vikings' point as they cut it back to 2. Some very energetic points tonight. Addie Heitschmidt now to serve for Smoky Valley, trailing by 2. She's going to send it deep, and it is going to be in right on the back line. Again, any small part of that ball touches that line, it is in, and it is called in. Vikings now trail by 1, 20-19. So Hoisington beat Smoky Valley to 20. Hasn't always rung true throughout the evening tonight that's been the call. Addie Heitschmidt plays it to Urban. Urban to Wolf. Wolf to Hanslick, who has to end up free balling it over a little bit. Heitschmidt to Ramsey. Ramsey to Boulder. Boulder off the block. Beautifully done there. Dolacek and Hanslick there for the block, and they're able to get the point, and that pushes them back up 21-19. Smoky Valley just not able to quite creep back into that tie yet as we near the end of the game. Just not quite clicking on all the cylinders, and let's be honest, Hoisington playing some pretty good volleyball. Dolacek sends her serve deep. Boulder, nice up. Maddie Toll got kind of turned around, ended up having to play it up over her shoulder there. Outside attack from Susanna Schneider. Rose plays it up. Elise Ramsey to Bree Franklin, who tried to go across on the little swipe shot again and was unable to drop it in. And that will lead to a 22-19 lead for Hoisington, and timeout Smoky Valley. Another great game tonight. We've been filled with all sorts of great volleyball this evening, as every single game has had its own little twists and turns, and this is one of those as they continue to make plays on both sides of the court. Both teams, again, attacking extremely well. Vikings, of course, at home, ranked number 3 coming into the night as of last week's standings. They've had a really strong season, winning 14 straight matches throughout the way here after losing their opener this year to Hillsborough. Hoisington, meanwhile, near the top of the league as well. Coming in, we knew they were 2-0 as far as league was concerned. As far as max preps, hadn't necessarily talked to their coaching staff, but again, a strong team, playing very well and continuing to play better throughout the night. So Vikings trail 22-19. We are in game 2. They won game 1 25-16. Smoky Valley did. So if Hoisington wins, they can force a third game. Dolacek to serve. Bolger plays that one up. Ramsey going to go right back. Little miscommunicate. Toll ends up playing it over. The Hoisington Cardinals had a little bit of a tough time there. Couldn't quite tell if it was going to be played over by Toll or by Franklin, and ended up Toll just played it right in the middle, got Hoisington out of sorts. They send the ball over, and Bree Franklin, very alert, attacks it, drives it home into the deep corner, and now the Vikings are within 2. Franklin serving. Franklin sends it deep, and unfortunately sends it too deep, a little bit out, and again, Bree's been on serving-wise tonight. That's one of her first miscues there. And it ends up going out of bounds, and it puts Hoisington up 23-20 here in game 2. Hanslick back to serve. She's been very good serving the ball tonight, and she does another nice job. Although great save by Haxton and Ramsey, driven over by Rose. Outside attack now by Schneider, who sends it deep. Well played by the Vikings. Started out that time with Haxton really having to sell out to make the play. Ramsey had to get to the net and get it up. Rose got us going. And then all of a sudden the deep shot by Schneider goes out of bounds. It's a 2-point contest. McKinley Johnson checking back in with a chance to cut the Hoisington lead to 1. Johnson on her jump serve again, sends it right down the middle, right to Paige Lamach. Lamach to Dolacek. Dolacek over to Susanna Schneider. Cross, shot, it's in. She's had a couple of those tonight where she's gone cross-court with it and driven it right to the line. And again, a big swing going right by McKinley Johnson for the point. And that's game point, Schneider to serve. Schneider up, jump serve, sends it deep to Heitschmidt. Heitschmidt to Johnson. Johnson gonna on a free ball, a little miscommunication there on behalf of the Vikings. Couldn't quite tell where it was going. Rough spot, and that ends up giving Hoisington the game, 25-21. So Hoisington responds, does a nice job being able to make the comeback here and get an opportunity here to get to a set or game 3 for an opportunity to get back in the game. So again, game 1 goes Vikings 25-16. Game 2 goes to Hoisington 25-21. We'll be back shortly here for game 3 between Hoisington and Smoky Valley. And welcome back to Smoky Valley High School Gymnasium. Doug Schneider with you. Mike Rose running the stream up there for the matches all night tonight. We appreciate all the work that Mike does, live.smokyvalley.org. We're going game 3. We got a little extra action tonight. The Vikings, the first time they've gone to a third game since that opening match this year that they've lost to Hillsborough. They've beaten everybody else in 2 throughout the season. So the first time, again, they've had to go to that third game, and Hoisington pushing them there tonight by making some plays early and getting the job done. So the Vikings are going to have to respond here in Game 3 and earn this one over a scrappy Hoisington team. And again, Hanslick going to be back there. The Hoisington Cardinals are going to start with the first serve, and she has served the ball well tonight, and she gets this third set started. Bolger with the up. Ramsey sends it over to Rose, and Rose will drive that first one home. A heck of a shot by Abby Rose. There was no questioning that one. She got up on top of it. Nice serve, or excuse me, nice set there by Elise Ramsey. And that is the point for the Vikings to hopefully get them going and keep this thing going in the right direction. McKinley Johnson checks in. She will be the first server for the Vikings tonight in this third game. Johnson up, jump serve, back to Paige Lamotch. Lamotch's going to end up playing that one tight. Rose goes up, right at the net, makes the play. A little overpass, and Abby was right on top of that at the net, doing exactly what she's supposed to do. Straight up, straight down, 2-0. So Abby's taking charge early. McKinley Johnson, serve. Urban gets it up. Alex Lamotch. Susanna Schneider going to have to free ball. Free balls it deep to Carrington Haxton. McKinley Johnson to Boldra. Boldra to Paige Lamotch. Going to end up tight at that net again. Keely Wolf unable to pull it out. And the Vikings now off to a great start here in Game 3 as they get out to a 3-0 lead here early. Johnson back to serve. Jump serve again. Right at Paige Lamotch. It's going to be a low one. She's not able to get underneath it. And Smoky Valley now out to a 4-0 start to get this Game 3 started. McKinley Johnson back to serve. Again, jump serve. Sends it across court this time. Urban. Alex Lamotch trying to save it. Paige Lamotch can't quite get it over the net. I saw Smoky Valley huddling up in the corner after they lost that game. A lot of talking in that huddle by some of those senior leaders over there, reminding each other just what we're here for and what we're here to do, and they have stepped up in this Game 3. Johnson again to serve. Urban up, outside to Alex Lamotch. Drives it down the line. Haxton sells out, but unable to pick it up off the block. And that'll be the first point of the third game here for Hoisington, as now they go to 5-1. Beautiful play down the line. Alex Lamotch, she read that. Went right off the side of the block, so a little bit of touch. Carrington had a tough time picking that up, and Hoisington gets the point. Susanna Schneider to serve. Addie Heitschmidt, little deep off that one. McKinley Johnson plays it up to Haxton, who sends it deep to the Cardinals. Alex Lamotch tries to cross the court right there. Johnson up to Boldra. Boldra with the kill. Boldra coming in from the left side here and driving it back to the right in front of the Hoisington players there on the back row, and able to drop it right in there in front of Schneider for the point. 6-1 Smoky Valley out of the gate. Boldra back to serve. Sends it across court to Paige Lamotch. Lamotch up to Dolacek. Dolacek gives it to Alex Lamotch. Bell Peters off net this time. Can't get it up. Dolacek sends it outside to Urban. And Urban comes another one right off the top of the block. The Vikings are getting the touch, but it's making it really difficult for their back row to make the next play. Down in the position to be able to dig the ball, and it's coming right off the top of the block and going right up there. And again, McKinley not quite able to make that play on that one because of the touch. Keely Wolf back to serve this time for Hoisington. She sends the ball right down the middle of Haxton. It rolls off her fingers. Boulder makes the save, and Bell Peters attempts to send it over, and unfortunately under the net. So nice save by Boulder on that one. Haxton, it comes off her fingers kind of awkwardly and goes back. But I thought Boulder did a really nice job being able to give the Vikings a chance to get that one back over. Keely Wolf again to serve. Haxton up to the net to Johnson. Johnson back set. Abby Rose sends it down hard on the cross again, and another point for Smoky Valley. I think Abby has really brought it up to another level here in this third game. Every hit she's had early on has been very, very strong. And again, all that set up, like we said before, good passes, good sets to get things rolling. Abby Rose, a short little jump serve, and again, she's really attacked that front corner. They've really left that spot open as they have their two players up on the near side, and that one spot over there is wide open, and Abby's tried that 3 times tonight, hasn't quite been able to get it to drop in. Alex Lamotch to serve for Hoisington, sends it deep to Vanderweg, saved by Rose. It's going to be sent over as a free ball by Franklin. Dolacek to Wolf, middle to Hanslick, Avery Vanderweg with the up. McKinley Johnson back set to Bell Peters. Susanna Schneider plays it up. Keely Wolf, Urban, and she sends it into the net. Both Urban and Keely Wolf went after that second play together, and unfortunately, because both of them were there, when Keely Wolf tried to play it back up to Urban, she wasn't quite in the position I think she thought she was going to be in, and unable to get the play back across the net. Elise Ramsey to serve. Vikings up 8-4. Nice up by Urban. Back row attack to Susanna Schneider, and she sends it out. So Vikings move back ahead by 5 now here in this deciding third game. Again, game 1 goes to Smoky Valley 25-16. Game 2, Hoisington 25-21. Ramsey short serve. Schneider plays it up. Wolf over to Urban. Urban sends it deep as well. So back-to-back plays. Hoisington sends it deep. The first time a Schneider play from the back row attack going deep. This time Urban also front row attack for her, but also going deep. Elise Ramsey again serving, a little bit short again, off Hanslick's fingertips. Schneider saves it. Dolachek's going to free ball it over. Avery Vanderweg to Ramsey. Ramsey back row swing. And Bree Franklin is able to knock it right over the top of the block, and it falls right there between a few Hoisington Cardinals. And that now puts Smoky Valley up 11-4, a 7-point lead. Going to force Hoisington. Again, we want to thank all of you joining us tonight via the stream. We've got about 50 devices joining us for this late game tonight. Nice to see our student section over there of young men and women. It's really great to be back to playing sports again and having these opportunities. You know, football's been going well to get people out on the field and do the things that we've been doing. It's been great to have our cross-country teams and our tennis teams, everybody being involved. Volleyball, it's been fantastic. But good to see the students having that chance to be involved and engaged during these difficult times. And it's great to see how well this volleyball team has come together. A lot of players that have played together and continue to do so as seniors and really stepping up. Elise Ramsey serving, 11-4. Urban plays it up. Keely Wolf, back row attack going to Lamotch. Lamotch to Avery Vanderweg, and that'll be point Hoisington. And again, always pointing out the fact that you love it when you can take advantage of it coming out of a timeout. And that's exactly what Hoisington was able to do, was get that point. Now they're going to look to try to create a couple of momentum plays here to get them going. Urban to serve. Abby Rose down on one knee to pick it up. Ramsey plays it really tight. It's going to be contacted by Hoisington and out of bounds. I'm not sure anybody really got a chance to see the play, and so they're going to do a replay here on this one. It might be to the disadvantage of the Vikings on that one. It was really iffy as far as who it might have gone off of. It looked like maybe Bree Franklin had a little bit of contact on the ball, but definitely Dolachek was there as well. But either way, the ball's going to be back in the hands of Urban to serve, and Urban serves it out of bounds. So the point will go to Smoky Valley, 12-5. So unable to get that momentum going. I think that might have been what probably the outcome of the previous play was, although it was tough to see. Addie Heitzschmidt, she serves, and she's going to serve it way deep. Too strong on that serve by Heitzschmidt as she was trying to aim for that. Instead sends it out, and that'll put the ball back in the hands of Hoisington, 12-6. Dolachek with the serve. Rose to the net to Ramsey. Ramsey keeps it off to Boldra. Boldra sends it over to the Hoisington Cardinals. Hanslick sends it over. One of the players lost a shoe. Had one thrown out of there. Number 3 for Hoisington, Gracie Alward, ends up losing her shoe partway through the point there, so they tossed it aside, and instead it ends up being a Hoisington point either way, and they're back within 5. Dolachek to serve. Rose pops it up. Ramsey going to send it to the middle to Maddie Toll. Maddie Toll tries to send it over. Schneider on the save. Boulder with the attack, and Hoisington keeps it alive. Great hustle play by the Cardinals. Bree Franklin, oh my goodness, she drops a beauty just over the net. It actually ends up hitting the tape and goes curling right over the top into the far right front corner. Unable to get there, the Cardinals, a great sellout play over there on behalf of Urban, but she just couldn't quite get there. 13-7, Vikings on top. Bree Franklin back to serve from the corner again. Up to Schneider, Schneider to Dolachek, back to Schneider in the middle, and she can't quite get it over the net. It's a good quick attack on behalf of Hoisington there. Schneider makes the first play, and it comes right back to her again, just unable to get on top of the ball and make the play. Bree Franklin back to serve again. Little jump serve again as usual. Sends it right there in front of Alex Lamotch. Abby Rose able to get on top of that one and make a big play. Comes off of a couple of Cardinals, but it's going to be point Vikings, and now they stretch this lead to 15-7, an 8-point Smoky Valley lead. Bree Franklin serving. Sends it to Schneider. Schneider to Dolacek. Outside to Isleworth. She sends it cross with the left hand and out of bounds. And now the lead has grown to 9 for the Vikings. After a strong second game, Hoisington not quite being able to close into the Vikings after a quick start. Serve right off the net by Bree Franklin. This one is going to be punished by Abby Rose. The serve comes right off the tape. Hoisington having to get on the ground and make a play. Isleworth pops it up, but she unfortunately pops it right up to Abby Rose waiting at the net. And again, just an opportunity to punish that ball. And the Vikings now up by 10. Bree Franklin serves into the net, but again, was able to get a few points there and really push that lead out for Smoky Valley. She's been good at attacking on her serves. She's been solid at the net today. Again, a good night, I think, for Bree Franklin. Hanslick back to serve for Hoisington. She's had a good night serving. She plays it to Boulder, Boulder to Ramsey, Ramsey to Rose, and Rose is on fire in this match. Every hit she seems to have is a solid one. This one she punishes back across the net and drives it home into that back row. Hanslick had an opportunity at it, just wasn't able to pop it up, and that pushes the lead again back out to 18-8, a 10-point Viking advantage. Johnson to serve. McKinley Johnson sends it to that back row. Paige Lamach up to Dolacek. Dolacek to the middle. Beautifully done. Gracie Isleworth goes up for the kill, and there's Abby Rose again. She's definitely shown up for game 3. Big players make plays in big games, and this is one of those. That third game and making the plays you have to make. McKinley Johnson, nice serve. Save there. Isleworth sends it over. Johnson a chance. Back to Rose. Off the block and out of bounds. So Abby Rose plays that one right into the block. The block couldn't get quite the angle, and it sends it out of bounds. So it's 20-8 Vikings now as they push that lead to 12 with an opportunity to finish strong here. Johnson again. Another jump serve. Susanna Schneider brings it back in. Isleworth sends it over. It's a free ball. Heitschmidt, Johnson, Rose. Off the top of the block, Schneider. Dolacek sends it back over. Heitschmidt back to Johnson again. This time back set. And Abby Rose this time probably one of the first balls she hasn't been able to play over the net in this game as it goes directly into the net this time. And so it's 20-9. Hoisington back to serving. Susanna Schneider to serve. Sends a nice short one there. Johnson's going to send a quick ball back over. Urban's going to set it up this time in the middle to Alex Lamach, and she crosses the court up there, and they end up with back-to-back points for Hoisington as they cut the lead back to 10. The margin of error is small right now for Hoisington as they need to claw back into this match. Susanna Schneider sends it down the line to Haxton. Haxton to Johnson. Johnson out wide to Peters. Nice up by Susanna Schneider. Dolacek sends it to the middle to Alex Lamach. Heitschmidt plays it, unfortunately over the net. Lamach right back on top of it, and this time she crosses it from right to left as she sends it to the left corner, and another point for Hoisington. Again, if you set that ball up at the net too many times, you're going to see that get coming right back at you, and that's exactly what Abby Rose did earlier, and Lamach did this time. Susanna Schneider to serve again, down by 9 now for Hoisington. Haxton, the ball got in on her a little bit there. Nice save by Johnson. Heitschmidt sends it over. This time going to send it outside to Urban. Another free ball. The Vikings have a chance to take advantage of this. Johnson sends it over to Boldra. She free balls it. And another opportunity for Hoisington as they send it over to Urban. Urban a little roll shot to Haxton. Haxton to Johnson to Rose in the middle. And there it is again. Johnson with a beautiful setup. And Rose finishes it off. And that'll push the lead back to 10 at 21-11. Boldra serving for the Vikings. Down the middle, Schneider to Dolacek. Middle attack for Alex Lamach, picked up by Boldra. Saved by Heitschmidt, who sends it over. Dolacek now going to send it back. Peters. Rose is going to send a quick one over. Timing a little bit off on that one. Urban has to send a free ball. Johnson over to Heitschmidt. Heitschmidt off the top of the block. Schneider plays it up. Little miscommunication on that back line, and the ball almost made it over. Little miscommunication on that second play, and you can't have that in late stretches of the match. Schneider ends up being able to save it. Almost got it to the net. It would have been iffy to stay in, but it's out either way. 22-11 Vikings. Boldra back to serve again. Right down the middle from Boldra. Paige Lamotch, nice up. Dolacek back to Alex Lamotch. Block at the net by Abby Rose. And that's points Vikings. Little discussion at the net about what was going on there, and I couldn't quite read exactly who was thinking what, but it's going to be point to Smoky Valley, and that puts them up 23-11. Boulder's going to serve the next one into the net. A nice little run there by Aubrey Boulder, and she's going to be replaced right now by Avery Vanderweg coming in here as the libero. On the other side, Keely Wolf going to come in for Gracie Alward, and Keely Wolf will serve now for Hoisington. She sends it back to Haxton. Haxton up to Johnson. Johnson over to Heichman. Heichman right through the blocks. And Heichman gets the kill. And that gets us to game point right now. Vikings within 1 point of getting a 15th straight win on the season. Okay. Bree Franklin back in the game. And also now coming into the game for Smoky Valley is Whitley McElroy, another one of their seniors. She's going to come in for Abby Rose. And she's going to get the opportunity to serve for the win here against Hoisington. Great game for Abby Rose, really strong along the net. Whitley McElroy to serve, sends it over down the middle. Lamotch sends it up. Dolacek, gonna have to be a free ball from Wolf. Avery Vanderway gets it up. Johnson to Franklin, and she drops it in on a little swash play there. Washes it right to the right, and that'll be a win for the Vikings. Again, 15 straight wins for Smoky Valley this season. This one, they got stretched a little bit as they ended up having to go 3 games tonight. But congratulations to Smoky Valley, the number 3 ranked team in 3A, for picking up yet another win, 15-1 on the season. Again, thanks for joining us tonight. We appreciate, again, Mike Rose and all the work that he does streaming, live.smokyvalley.org. Join Don Bankston and myself Friday night at 7 o'clock for high school football, homecoming high school football from Bethany College Field. We look forward to seeing you then. Thanks for joining us tonight, and have a great night.
I thought.
So I was off too. I gave him too much credit. It's awesome. Anyway, yeah, I did like 10 points. Did you? Yeah. Daddy trusted me with his equipment. I'm going to do a 75-inch big screen.